Hey there, it's Mark, and in today's video, I'm going to be setting up the start of a 2021 bullet journal, all digitally and only using my iPhone. Well, it's a little bit more than just my iPhone. I'm also going to be using Zinnia, which is the digital planning app, and they have a brand new iPhone version that's out that it's a perfect partner for their iPad app. So let's go ahead and set that up for us. We're going to be looking at an index, future log, we'll do a January overview, and do our very first weekly. And I want to show you how easy it is to set it up. So let's go ahead and check it out and get started.
To get started, we're going to tap New Journal. Don't forget that Zinnia does have an entire full journal selection, so if you don't want to start from scratch, you can select any of these journals and it'll automatically add a bunch of pages to get started. But we're going to start from scratch, so let's go ahead and choose our page style. We're going to go with a dot grid, and one of the new features added to Zinnia is you can also choose your page color now as well if you want to. We'll go ahead with just white and get started. Another feature I really do love in Zinnia is that you can zoom in and snap your page to your screen. You can also do this on the iPad as well. As you can see, we can swipe left and right and get a full view of each individual page. The first one that we're going to create is going to be our key. So we'll tap on the plus sign here, which has the type tool underneath of it, and just tap on the screen, and we'll go ahead and type in key. And let's find a font that works for this. Thought Cranky would work, but we're going to go with more of the sketchier feel with just me again down here. Once I've selected the size that I want it to be, I'll just position it here on the page. Then I'll tap on the studio icon in the top. It looks like a sticker. And we're going to go ahead and go to the category planner icons. We're going to insert our signifiers here for our key. So we'll go with Peanut. It has this sketchy feel similar to the font that we chose here. There's a lot of different options here. The first one that I'm going to go with is just this bullet here. This is going to be for our tasks. So if you're unfamiliar with a bullet journal, it's not because of the dot grid that the system gets its name. It actually has to do with the bullet for a task, and that's an action that you're going to take. The next thing that I'm going to add from this is another bullet, but I'm going to go back in and I'm going to also tap on the X. This is going to be for a completed task. While using Zinnia, you can draw right on here with your own finger if you want, or you can add these elements and copy and paste them to your pages as you go through. So I'll just go ahead and copy this text and paste it in here, and then just add in complete. As you're working in Zinnia, if you're not very familiar with it, you can hold on to any of these anchor points on the corners to make it smaller or bigger, or on the left, right, and top and bottom to open up your text box a bit more so everything fits. Going back into the studio, I'm going to select the open circle now. These will be for my events. These could be for appointments or for meetings, but I'll add this signifier whenever I have an event that I'm adding into my bullet journal. The next item that I'm going to put in here is actually going to be a dashed line. Now in the bullet journal system, the dashed line is for notes. These could be things that you're writing down that you need to remember, not necessarily to take an action on, or just taking general notes from meetings or other things that are going on in your day to day. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here, and I'm going to copy this signifier here for the bullet because the next two that I'm going to add in here are for the migration. So this is going to be migrating back to our future log or migrating forward into the next day. I'll paste both of these here. I'm going to use the type tool and just add in a left facing bracket here. I'll resize it inside of the app just so you can oversee it a little bit, but this is for the migrating back to your future log. So if you're working with the bullet journal system, these are the items that are going to not have to be handled right away, but be handled in the future. So you want to put them there so you can move along. If you're using the right facing bracket, that means that you've migrated that forward. Either you've migrated that from one day to another to remember the task that still needs to get done, or you're migrating it to the next week. Copying and pasting text or other elements is the fastest way to navigate inside of the app I've found, instead of tapping on the type tool every single time you want to add something. Now that I've changed this text on the right hand side of this page, I don't have a real use for it. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of design. Inside of the categories, you'll see the journal cards. These are just really nice full page items that you can add to any of your pages. I really liked this colorful geometric one, so we'll just add that to the right hand page. We'll swipe this page over towards the left, and this will start a new page for us. On this page, this is where we're going to start our future log. The future log is so helpful because you can set this up and create events, reminders, tasks, notes, whatever it might be for future months. Because we're setting this up in January, I'm going to go ahead and add in calendars that already exist inside of here. So what I'm going to do now is go into planner icons. Underneath here, they actually have small calendars that already exist that both have the month as well as all of the days of the week, and 2021 is already here. So I'm going to use the 2021 mini calendars. What I like to do is add each of the months on top of one another, and that way I'll be able to select them all together and resize them versus having to try to manually size up each one. So when I tap and hold on the screen, I can use this lasso tool, and this will help me put a circle around all of the dates at the same time. Now that they're all sized the same way, I can pull each one of these off, rearrange them so they're on the page the right way, and then put them where they need to go. This is just a quick, efficient way that I found to work inside of Zinnia. Because there isn't currently snapping with each of the elements inside of the app, I'm just using the dot grids to help line myself up, make sure that my dates line up on the same lines and that my numbers and everything align on the vertical as well as the horizontal as much as I can. It's not going to be perfect just yet, but I can get it pretty close. I'll tap and hold on the screen to select all three of these. I'll move them over as far as I can and then just swipe over to get to the right hand side of this page to get that closer view, and I'll line them up on those pages. And if at any point you want to look at your full entire spread, you can just pinch out and you'll see everything at the same time. And we'll go ahead and move it around just to make sure that we're in a good spot. I'm going to go ahead and copy the future log title over to this other side as well, just so I have the same header on both sides. And the next page that we're going to create is going to be the index. So currently inside of Zinnia, the index, the same way it is inside of your traditional bullet journal, is manual. I personally believe that the index is the brain of the operation when it comes to bullet journaling, because the index helps you find your pages quickly. I'm going to go ahead and move this page in front of our future log. I'm going to tap and hold on the screen and just move it in the position that I want. And then what I'm going to do is go into my future log and I'm going to number each of my pages. You could do this with the text tool if you wanted to, but I'm just going to use my finger to draw this in here. The way that the index works is every time you put in a new entry into your bullet journal, you want to document what page these are on and what's the overall topic of that page. In this case, our first and second page of our journal are going to be for our future log. So I'll go ahead, type this in, and I'll resize it to fit the page. And then every time that we come back inside of this, what I'm going to do is add a new entry into my index so I know where I am. So as an overview right here, we have our key with a nice design on the front, we have our index and our future log. So the next thing that we're going to create inside of our journal is going to be our monthly overview. So I'm going to tap into lettering and then go into the months. And I really love this one from Amy Tangerine. I just love the way all of her work was done inside of Zinnia. So we'll tap on January and bring that in. The next thing I want to do is I want to find something that will work for a monthly overview. So this is actually one of the items from my collection inside of Zinnia, which is a really brief monthly overview. Anything that you don't want inside of these templates, you can ungroup the template and delete the extras. What I really want from here are the numbers of the months so that I can add in things that are going on. So for this layout, we have January 1st all the way through January 31st. If you want, you can write inside of these, or they're already pre-made with text boxes, so you just have to tap and add them in there, and then you'll be good to go. On the right-hand side of this page, I'm going to add a section for notes, so we'll go back into the header spaces. We'll tap on notes, which is still a part of Amy Tangerine's collection here. I just love it so much. The next page that we're going to create is just going to be our very first weekly. So as I've done before with those calendars, I'm going to go into the days of the week, and then I'm just going to tap on each one. Once everything is on the page, I'm going to tap and hold and select everything with the lasso tool, and I'm going to resize it to about the space that I think that I'm going to need. And then what I'm going to do is just pull each one of these headers out and move it to the general position of where it's going to end up, and I'll realign these in just a moment. But I just want to get everything to a space to get started. I'll also go ahead and add the January header to the top of this as well, so I know where I am and what month it is and as I'm getting started. And I'll go ahead and just change the colors as well. So on the bottom right hand side, you'll see the 3 overlapping circles, and if you tap on that, you can select the colors that you want. The other thing I love about Zinnia is their search feature is fantastic. If you don't know exactly where the elements are that you're looking for, because there are so many great pieces that are a part of this app, you can type on the magnifying glass here and type in whatever you want. So I'm going to type in snow because it's January and it's cold and it's winter. I want to find things that I can add to the page to help get that January winter feeling. So one of the things I'm going to select here is actually this bare tree. Here's some cool snow icicles. I'll just put that here at the top just to make it feel nice and wintry. And I also really like some of these snowflakes. So what I'll do is I'll just tap on this one here and add it to my page to add some extra fun design. We'll copy and paste this a few times just so we have some elements on the page that I can then move around. Once I'm almost done with everything, I'm just going to go in and just refine where everything's laying out just a little bit. It's not going to have to be perfect. Because it's digital, any of these things can move around. So even if I'm getting deep into my weeks, I know that I'll be able to still have plenty of space. So let's go ahead and review through everything that we've done. We have our key, we have our index and our future log. We have our monthly overview, as well as notes, as well as our first weekly. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and back into my index and add all of these pages. So on page 3 and 4, that's where I have my January 2020 monthly overview. And then on page 5 and 6, that's where I have my January weekly. I like to put in the dates here as well so I know what week that took place in. So that's going to be January 4th through the 10th. Even though I knew what numbers they were on, I didn't actually add the numbers. So real quick, I'm just going to go back in there and add each of the numbers to the top of the pages so that it matches up as I'm going through. Adding those pages into your index and adding them onto your pages you go through is just one of those things that you have to build that habit around. Even in my traditional journals, it just takes a little bit of time to remember to add them. And in many cases, I will actually add those pages as I'm going through. And something you could do for these if you wanted to would be create a template page and copy and paste that every time. And then that way your text boxes are already there and you can just update those numbers as you go through. But just something you can think about however you want your workflow to be. The last thing I'm going to do here is name my bullet journal. So if you tap on the ellipses in the bottom right hand corner, we'll go ahead and type in 2021 bullet journal. And then the next thing we'll do is choose our cover. There's so many beautiful, wonderful covers inside of here. I really love this one. It's so ornate and cool looking. So this is what we'll go with for our 2021 digital bullet journal inside of Zinnia's brand new iPhone app just released that you can download now from the Apple App Store.
And there we have it, the start of a 2021 digital bullet journal right in the palm of your hand. If this was your first time seeing Zinnia or checking out the digital app, make sure you check out this video above where we did a complete review of the app and I take you much more in depth into everything that the app has to offer. I appreciate you checking out today's video. If you haven't done so already and would like to see more videos from me, make sure to tap that thumbs up down below. Let me know you like this video. And if you'd like, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel as well. Hit that bell, that way I can notify you when I have new videos coming out. I've got new videos for you every single Friday right here on this channel, and I'm even throwing in some bonus weekend videos too. I've got so many ideas inside of my brain, I'm just ready to pour them all out. Thanks again for checking out this video today, and I'll talk with you very soon. See ya.